I've been plugging away at the car a lot these last couple days. None of it made it to film. I didn't video anything, but I will show you what I did. I just didn't think any of it really needed to be filmed because some of it's pretty boring stuff, but yeah, I'll show you what I did. Doing the oil change on the Talon, and I'll show you what I got here. For oil, we're using Dominator Racing Oil. 10W30. This is really high in zinc, which is really good for high performance applications, as well as the ANSOIL filter. And then we're adding Ceratec, liquid moly Ceratec. This stuff's really good for lifter tech. So I'm gonna throw a bottle of this in there, and that lifter tech should go away. So other than the oil change, I did flush the coolant system. I did it a bunch of times. I took the radiator out, flushed that out, flushed the heater core hoses out, and I put in this super cool water wetter just to try and get some of the temps down. It supposedly drops temps 20 degrees, but I'm not sure I believe that. And then we also went with a 170 thermostat, and I did manage to put a new coolant temp sensor in there since the one I got from Auto Value wasn't reading properly. While I was in here doing the coolant flush with the rad out, I had to take my heat shield off, the dub tube off, and so I went ahead, took the wastegate off, and put 24 pounds of springs in there. And then I also put the FP manifold blanket on there as well. So now I've got the blanket, the heat shield, and also the turbo blanket, just to try and trap all that heat in there, get rid of some of that radiant heat in the engine bay. It has worked. I have noticed a lot cooler under hood temps since installing all of this. So that's pretty cool. I'm still gonna wrap the dump tube. So we'll be wrapping this guy up. Unfortunately covering all of Kyle's just beautiful welds here. But the point for putting 24 pounds of springs in this guy was to try and get rid of some of that wastegate chatter. And I have driven it since, and it did not go away. So I think it's just the way it's mounted because it's on the turbine housing, and the orientation of just the wastegate itself just creates that wastegate chatter. Could also be the way DSM link activates the boost controller, the duty cycle in there. But I think it's mostly just the wastegate on the turbo. Now we're going to be installing this brand new Aeromotive 13305 fuel pressure regulator. It has 8 AN inlet and outlet ports, so that's why I went with this one. It also has a large orifice for the return, so it basically matches the diameter of the 6 AN, which is pretty ideal for this setup. So that's why I'm going with this one. So now we got to take that one out, put this one in. So I'll show you the new setup here. So now it's just a -8 going into our fuel pressure sensor and then into the regulator. And then on the bottom, it's a -8 ORB to a -8 to -6 reducer. So we got rid of this guy. And again, we had to change out because this was a -6 pressure sensor fitting. So now we have the -8 in there. And other than that, it's all the same. So it worked out really well. All right, guys, I'm gonna show you what I got going on here. We've got the new regulator in right here. And unfortunately, it's been high pressure. Like, we haven't been able to drop our pressure to the 43.5. It sits at around 55. And that's with the screw backed all the way out. So what I got here is just trying to see where the restriction is. So I've taken the original line off. I got the original line right here. There's the flex fuel sensor, and I just want to see if it'll drop with just a -6 line going into a jerry can. So if it drops down, that means there's a restriction somewhere in the return line, whether it's the flex fuel sensor or something in the tank. But we're gonna see if this is gonna help at all. I'm also wondering if it's this fitting I have, which goes right from a -8 to a -6 immediately after the regulator. So I'm wondering if that's causing a little bit of a bump in pressure, but we'll see what happens when we do this. So I've got ECM Link hooked up here. We're gonna go live ECM Link settings, go to the miscellaneous tab, and we're gonna go activate fuel pump, which is already selected, but it doesn't have the save changes as they're made right here. So we're gonna save that to the ECU. Now it's on, I can hear it running through, and we're still really high. So that's not it. So now we'll turn that off. And what we'll do is we'll actually take that fitting off on the bottom, and we'll just try a dash 8 hose, see if a dash 8 works. If a dash 8 doesn't work, then we have an issue with our regulator. All right guys, now we have a dash 8 hose hooked up, so we'll see. What this is going to tell us is if the regulator is pooched. So prime it, check it, and now we're still high guys, and it is adjusted all the way out. So it looks like we have a defective regulator, because that should drop, because it's an 8 in and an 8 out, and if that thing isn't dropping when we have no restrictions on the return side, that should be able to push that fluid out. And again, that screw is all the way out, like there's no resistance. You get a little bit, let's see here, yeah, like right there's a little bit, but after that, like it's just a free flowing screw right there. So we'll try it one more time. I'll see if we can get a better mounting point for you guys to see it. Not the best situation here, but let's see if we can rig something up here. There we go. All right, so nice and high. Let's try it one more time just to show you guys what it looks like. See if it'll give you a better angle. And activate. And I don't know how easy that is to see, but we're still at like 56 PSI, which, and I'll show you the set screw, backing it out doesn't change anything. So we need a new regulator, or I just return it and get my money back. I mean, at this point, the other regulator's working fine, so I don't really see any reason to try and get another one if this one's doing its job. So we'll just return this one, get our money back. But yeah, looks like we're keeping the same regulator, but that's all right. Got the old regulator back in there. We'll just return that other one. And on the next video, we're going high boost E85. So stay tuned for that one, guys. We're gonna be turning the boost up quite a bit and really pushing the limits of this stock block, stock trans, stock everything right now. So I'll post up a little video here, just what that the 24-pound springs sound like in there. It doesn't sound any different, but I'll give you guys a little pull video anyways. So yeah, stay tuned for the next video, and please like and subscribe. I was going for a little drive, and the idle was like stuck really high, and I was logging at the time, so I looked at my ISC position and noticed that it was like reading 0, which is not what it should have been. So I came and took a look and found that this is my check valve that I had in line on my catch can to my intake manifold was broken. So it's creating a huge leak, vacuum leak. So that busted. I'm not really sure how that happened, but we do have these Kynar check valves. So these are a lot higher quality. That one's just like a Amazon special. So I'll throw this guy in and hopefully that fixes the problem. Our idle's back to normal. Obviously that was the problem. Busted right in half. Hopefully this Kynar check valve works a lot better and doesn't break on us. It is a better quality one, like I said, so shouldn't be a problem anymore. Our ISC is still pretty high, but we did just fire it up and it's coming down, so I think everything's looking good. The ISC is not coming down as much as I thought it would. We're sitting at like 54, and that should be like 30. I guess we're not up to operating temp quite yet, so maybe that'll drop lower, but this thing could have been broken a while ago and I just didn't notice because it wasn't affecting the vacuum that much. So yeah, like who knows how long that was broken for. Maybe we're gonna have to adjust that a little bit. Hopefully it doesn't affect our tune at all. We're gonna have to monitor that, but for now she's good to go.